Okay, so bathing.
How are we doing?
I don't know. What time is it? 11:30?
Yeah, 12.
How much time do I have?
11:35.
Okay, but what time?
So
do
we've
I-
got 2 more to go, so you
Okay, so I
probably
should be
need
done.
to.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go real deep.
I know, it goes fast.
It does. Okay. Let me skip over. Bathing was really interesting. It was influenced by a lot of different things. But let me just go. There was a big contrast from sanitation to and bathing, which had a lot of customs that contributed to the lack of. But the personal grooming, they were kind of obsessive about it. Your hands had to be really clean. They nails had to be clean. People sitting down at meals, someone would bring around a ewer with a pitcher. They would wash their hands. They would eat the meal, then they would wash again. They were actually the barbers took care of scraping your teeth, the plaque off your teeth, and they would clean their teeth with a linen. The recipes for dental cases are scary. I'll just say that. Ears, there were ear spoons to clean the wax out. Yeah, and yes. And there's an example. This is a Roman ear picker, which looks highly dangerous to me. And
Lend me your ears. Oh, very cute.
And, and that one up there was actually found off in a diving scuba on a ship, and it's half ear picker and half toothpick, and you didn't want to get
Half weapon.
ends mixed up on that. I can give you a copy of this.
I would like one.
Okay, so armholes, you actually did have holes there. They had a recipe and for deodorant, and the people that really stunk, there was something wrong with their humors, and they were required to wash and use various mixtures to help them. But they had the humor on balance. And I already went into hands and nails. Hair care was basically, they didn't wash a lot, but more than taking a bath. They would comb colored clay through their hair, and it would absorb the grease and dirt, and then they would just comb it out. And I'm going to skip the shaving. I tried to cover all my bases.
I know.
Okay, so the outer layers, these clothes were not washed. They would have special brushes, and they would brush the clothes. But the inner layer, which is usually made of linen or cotton, they would be washed on a weekly basis.
It's kind of like a hotel bed.
Shoes
Hotel bed.
started to evolve to get higher soles to the point of the absolute absurd that women needed somebody to walk with. However, I think the higher soles actually were after this time period, and it was more the lower ones that were in our time period. I just couldn't resist putting that in there. Okay, so covering the stain. They used pomanders, so what you're going to want to do with your pomander is just hang it in a dark place that's dry, and it will shrivel up, and then you can refresh it by rolling it in cinnamon or nutmeg, and then just hang it in your room, in a closet, in your car. Actually, it would probably be really good. And it's supposed to, they would carry them, they would hang them on their belt after they were dry, and walking past someplace it was really potent. You just walk by. The sachets and the sweet bags would serve the same purpose, and they could have potpourri, citrus fruit was used, perfume was used on everything. Leather gloves, all your clothes, your linens. They would have perfume pans in the room, as you can imagine, rose water for baths and perfumes and herbs in the baths. So basically that is how they dealt with odor, is just covering it up as much as possible. Handkerchiefs, which we know, they would be scented, so they could just put them over their nose. Oh yeah, nosegays, posies, or tussie-mussies. Those were usually given as a gift, and they were fresh flowers, so again, you could smell.
What's a tussie-mussy?
It's just a little bunch of flowers, so it's another word. And then I have it here, an essential oil called Thieves, and just, I love this smell. It's a mixture, it's got a lot of different things in it, including cinnamon and nutmeg. There's an anecdote, and I've heard I've read several different versions, but back then there were grave robbers, and they would go after somebody would die to, pull off anything of value, and but, you know, people were dying of plague and infectious diseases. So what they would do is they would soak cloths in oil like this and tie it around them, and they didn't get sick. And then the story kind of diverts on, well, they were caught and then they were going to be hanged unless they divulged the secret, or there was another version that was slightly different. I have to tell you one really quick thing, and then I'm almost done. I have a cat that likes to catch birds, and I saw her one morning just literally jump up and get a little golden finch out of the air, and broke the wing. I brought it to the vet, and he didn't think it was going to live, but I started putting a mixture of coconut oil and the thieves on the wing. Now, prior to this, I had tried to save so many mourning doves that they would all die, even if they had no visible wounds on them. And cats have horrible bacteria in their mouth. That little finch survived and actually lived and flew off with her beau that would come and visit me. And I owe it all.
Wow.
That stuff is amazing.
And they didn't attack you?
What-
When you tried to save this poor bird?
Oh, this little bird. You're so, this stuff is amazing,
No,
and I
I-
have, it saved my,
I
you know, self, because I have an immune issue. And I will gargle, there's toothpaste, everything with this stuff. So anyway, so it worked. So I really believe that there's some kind of an account that was accurate. And so there's a couple of examples. And moving on, this is recent, and she's carrying her little tussie-mussy or posies. And in conclusion, I noticed a huge dichotomy between the idea of, you know, bathing and sanitation versus the personal grooming, which they were obsessed with. You know, hair, teeth, you know, makeup was used, style was important. You know, you could tell your barber what kind of beard you wanted if you wanted to intimidate your enemies, or, I mean, it was crazy. So basically that's it, except for I am really appreciative of electricity in indoor plumbing.
Yes, thank you.